Example of an engine where we got some bent valves. So those valves smacked the piston and they got bent. In this case, we definitely need some new valves. That means we're going to be doing some machine work to that cylinder head, right? If those valves smack the top of the piston, what do we have to do with the piston? Replace it. So this is still going to be a really expensive repair, but this is actually sort of best case scenario. Because worst case scenario would have been that we hit those valves so hard that we actually broke the head of the valve off, right? And then it would have started bouncing around inside there, and then would we even be able to rebuild that cylinder head? No, we pretty much have to replace the cylinder head.
What is that about?
I'm not sure exactly. There's something really big. That one's pretty big even for like a semi, so I'm not sure exactly what that one's out of.
It's probably a train.
Could be.
It's paint. And it's wearing. It's a in the creek.
Okay, so another thing we need to look at in terms of camshafts is some of the different things that can lead to camshaft noise. And we're also going to see some different things in terms of camshaft design here. So we have this term cam chucking. Cam chucking is basically a fancy term for camshaft end play. So the camshaft is moving forward and backwards in the engine block or in the cylinder head. Our camshaft or crankshaft, any of our shafts in our engine needs some end play. Because what happens to these parts is they heat up. They expand, right? We need some room for that expansion to occur. So we need some end play. We need some room for that expansion to occur. What can happen though is if this cam starts walking back and forth in the block, it can lead to some really weird noises. And that's basically what that cam chucking is. When we're dealing with end plate related noises, one thing that's kind of unique about these engine noises versus most others is typically if we have a noise in the engine, it's there, right? It's going to be there all the time. It may get louder or quieter based on temperature, based on RPM, or based on load, but that noise is there. With end plate related noises, whether it's with the cam or the crank, a lot of times it's a noise that will come and go. So sometimes the noise is there, basically when the cam is walked all the way one way, sometimes it's not. So it'll be a very intermittent noise a lot of times. So there's different ways to control this cam end play. A lot of engines, when the cam sprocket bolts to the cam sprocket actually helps to control that end play. So there's a plate in between these two, and that limits how far the cam can move. Another option, this cam here, there's sort of this disc here right behind the cam sprocket. That disc fits into a groove, in this case in the cylinder head, and between that disc and that groove, that sets the end play. So that limits the movement. So we're going to have something to control that movement back and forth.